guys, welcome to the Euro predictions for 2018. So this is going to be hopefully not a too long video, but we're going to be talking about the predictions for this year's Euro competition. We're going to go through, talk about all the groups, who we think is going to progress, and who we think is going to be the eventual winners as well. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel for more Rangers stuff as well.
Should we start with men's?
Men's Group A, we've got Italy,
Hungary,
Sweden, and
Wales. Yeah. So who are you fancying in that group, Sam?
Italy being the most experienced team, I think they're going to top that group. Obviously Sweden, obviously being experienced as well, I think they should do well. Hungary being a new team, I'm not sure how they'll do. We'll have to see and watch and find out. And then obviously Wales, obviously been a part of it a long time as well, but gone through a lot of changes throughout their squads and stuff. So I think it'll be a very interesting group type.
Yeah, it's a shame they actually have to have good Welsh players playing for them now.
yeah, I think Sweden over the past couple of years they've kind of found their niche where a couple of years ago they were playing around. They still like to be a bit fancy, but when it comes down to the serious game,
Swedish drop they do.
Yeah, they call themselves the Spectaculars. You know, that's what they call themselves.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Debatable on how much spectacular is shown.
To be fair, as much as they've had some change, I still think Wales are probably going to get top of the league. I think they're going to go through. Hungary, I think, as it's their first tournament, probably going to struggle with the competitiveness.
I don't know, Hungarians have always been good at throwing things.
They have, but I just think with the step up when you go to the Euros.
One eternity.
On to Group B, we've got England, Czech Republic, Netherlands and Poland. A couple of new teams around there as well. Netherlands they made their debut back in Scotland, in Glasgow last year.
I think England got quite a nice draw.
Yeah.
I think they'll be looking at that thinking that's not a bad draw for them, really.
No, but I don't think anyone's really going to compete with them, really, are they?
No.
But you got to predict that their kind of aims are winning it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going from the men, especially going from the World Cup, coming fourth.
Yeah,
it's a massive disappointment for them. I know that was.
I don't think that would sit very well with them.
No, exactly. Especially, yeah.
I think it's now is the time to kind of set on that new clean slate. I think it was a bit of kick in the teeth for them, but also a kick up the backside. It's like now's probably time for us to focus. Yeah. Get back to the top.
Don't take anything for granted.
Yeah. There was a lot of silly mistakes they made at MSG, and I think now is the time. 4-day tournament this time around. I think they've got plenty of time to try new things, especially with a group like that. You know, they're going to be almost laughing.
Yeah, and that's not disrespectful to the teams. I just think they are a cut
of course.
They are just
the strength in depth that England are going to be taking, they can afford to rest.
I mean, how many years have England been going to Euros now? I mean, it's pretty much since the beginning.
Yeah.
Whereas these teams have been here 2 years. Yeah. So.
But I think it's now in that group that it's not just we know England are going to finish top in that. It's who takes that second spot, because then that's also you're then qualifying into the quarter-final brackets. One of these teams has probably never made it that far.
No.
You know, Czech Republic, don't think has, because I think this is the first time they're bringing a men's team.
Because in Scotland they only had a mixed.
Yeah. Netherlands, I think they brought a men's last time.
Yeah.
But I think they were the team that come into it just there to have a bit of fun. And then Poland, we've never seen
brand
before.
New team.
Yeah. But you never know. Poland might bring world beaters.
Yeah.
It'd be absolutely amazing.
Oh, imagine.
It might be. I'd love it. That'd be perfect. I mean, I think, like you say, with England, because their depth of team is so strong, I think they're going to be best in the long run as well. Over a 4-day tournament, exactly. They left the weakest England player anyway. But yeah, like I say, I think because their team they've got, they can afford to rest players and still have a team that could probably beat most teams in the competition. I think with that depth they have.
Anyway, we should probably move on to the next group. So we've got Austria, got Ireland, Switzerland and Belgium. Interesting group. So the big hitters there being Austria.
Yeah. Coming off
obviously
their World Cup.
New World
champions. You've got Ireland in there who think will compete.
Yep.
I think they'll definitely compete. They're probably looking at second there. Switzerland, to be honest, I haven't seen much of Switzerland above you boys.
First Euros for both those and Belgium. So.
Okay, there you go. That makes sense. That's why I haven't seen them.
I think they were in a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, Switzerland have been in there before.
Yes,
just Belgium.
They were at Italy when I was there.
The joke is they come every 2 years.
Oh,
so they'll be like, miss one, come, miss one, come. Belgium are just going to bring like Hazard and
well, if their team's any as good as their actual football team, then you know.
Well, can we clarify? If Lukaku comes, I'm still not playing against him, even if he is a footballer. But like you say, I mean, if you're smart, you'd say definitely Austria Ireland out the group, but you never know.
There's always an upset.
Well, you know, the World Cup, we were all expecting England men to win, theoretically, and that didn't happen.
I thought the surprise was England going to fourth. Group D. So Group D, we've got Northern Ireland, Scotland, France, and Romania. Have Romania taken part in the Euros before?
No, again.
So first team.
It's good to see.
What do you think, Sam?
Scotland to top it with Northern Ireland a very close second. Northern Ireland did very well at the Worlds.
Scotland above?
Yeah, I do. I think Scotland.
You'll upset some Northern Irish people.
Yeah, I know.
Especially with their finish.
How well they did at MSG. Yes, I do believe they'll get through the group, and yes, they beat Scotland at the last Euros in the group. But I think Scotland will be out for revenge at this Euros, and
I don't think so.
I disagree on that.
I also think Northern Ireland got that.
Really?
Yeah.
100%.
France? Any mention for France?
They've always kind of been like mid-bottom. They've got a couple of players that play in the English leagues that are playing over.
Got Romania, first time in.
Yeah.
Again, it's hard because there's so many teams that are taking part in either their first or second Euros. We don't know what's been going on in Romania. They might be trying to have a solid team.
Yeah, I think Romania will be similar to Hungary, really. I think they'll be a bit unorganised.
Yeah.
They'll be really up for it. I can see them being really up for it. But
like incredibly competitive.
Yeah, really competitive. A bit like Egypt are at the World Cup. Really competitive, but just not quite the standard they.
Do you think they'll be coming from like that handball background, like Austria originally did?
It's very like Eastern Europeans, very
teams.
like that polo handball was all really popular over there. So I'm assuming there's some big arms, but the rest is where we'll see what happens.
So men's, we think Wales to progress out of Group A, definitely.
Yeah.
England is your top group for Group B.
Yeah.
Austria top for C.
Yeah.
And Northern Ireland was kind of the majority vote for D.
Yeah.
So toss up between Northern Ireland and Scotland.
Yeah.
Who do we think is going to kind of win it all?
I'm going to put money on the table now. Austria. They're going to do it again. They're going to come back. They're going to come even stronger than they did at the World Cup, where they, to be honest, they smashed.
Well, they got the momentum now.
Yeah.
So.
But then they've still got that thing to prove because they actually won the World Cup without actually playing England men.
That's true.
So maybe their time to shine might be in a final against England.
Well, that has to be the final, really. England, Austria.
I don't know if they meet in the final.
If everything's paired properly.
Yeah. I think if you want the best game,
As a final.
I think it would be the one. I think Northern Ireland and Scotland will be a brilliant game, but the best game, Austria, England.
Northern Ireland to win it all.
Yeah.
How do they do first? They're going to get through. They're going to top their group. They're going to play a blinder. And come against England, they're going to play an absolute blinder.
Someone
And
paid
wipe
to
off
say
the
that.
park.
Yeah.
Definitely not. But my money's going to be on Northern Ireland.
All right.
Okay.
That's interesting. So what are you going for, Sam? You didn't say.
I'm going England.
Of course you are.
I'm going.
Mate, you're still not
No,
going.
I'm also going England. I think they'll just about beat Austria, hopefully in the final as long as everything pairs up.
Sweet. So mixed now. We've got Group A is Italy, Switzerland, Ireland, and Hungary. So what are thoughts?
That's a bit of a weird group because none of those teams, mixed wise, are incredible. I think those four teams are on even playing field. Any one of those teams
Could go through as a top two.
You don't know because we don't know what Hungary are going to bring, especially in mixed category. Normally, new teams do a bit better than normally just men or just women.
Although I think that Italian women tend to be quite strong. So
It's so strong.
I'd imagine if they've got they're probably their better men's players playing with them, I think they'll be a strong team. That's my bet.
I think they've got Nani back this time, who was back at the first World Cup back in Manchester, who was incredible back then. I think she's had a couple of years out, and I think she's finally come back into that. So, like you said, if Italy bring what we know they can
Yeah, 100%.
like play. And
Go
that's
forward
what they
for Shiny Ireland, Meg.
Hashtag China.
So, Group B, Wales, Slovenia, Sweden, and Germany.
Germany.
Yeah, Germany. So obviously not brought a men's team, however mixed.
Cut that.
Which is weird because last Euros they had a men's team.
Interesting. But that's a bonus for the men's side because more new teams would join in taking place in
No,
Germany.
true.
Yeah.
How did they get on last Euros?
I don't think they did too well. They did so. I think their first tournament was back in Paris. Then, where they did awful, they were drinking and playing at the same time, as most new teams do. Like
I'm half German. Got my call up, boys.
And then when they come back to Glasgow, I think they played a lot more seriously. Didn't do too bad, I think, from what I can remember. But then this year they haven't brought a men's team. But I still think some of the strong men that they've got are playing in this team. They've got a handball background, and their best players are like 6'4", just like massive arms.
What?
How are you, German?
I'm 6'2", so it can be.
Slovenia, another interesting one, not got a men's team.
Again, their women tend to be quite good.
Yeah, their women are better than their men.
Yeah.
100%.
So
saying it.
again, they might have a decent mixed team.
Yeah. Because they made it. Well, their mixed team made it to the World Cup.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we say their mixed team. Their women in their mixed team made it to the World Cup because their catching is incredible.
Yeah.
Like they were.
Well, Slovenia women have been around for a long time.
They took a bit of a break though, didn't they? Then they come back at
yeah.
in Paris.
I'd imagine they'll be still playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've been around for a while, and yeah, I think they'll be pretty strong. I think they'll be alright.
So Group C, you've got the Scotland mix. Scotland, Austria, France, and Belgium in Group C.
Scotland and Austria, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Very good, tough group.
It's interesting how you got two groups there who you couldn't really pick anyone, and then you've got the third group with two big teams in there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
Well,
Austria though. Are we going Austria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean,
given the strength of their men's team.
We say Austria, but then Scotland at the World Cup beat Austria. So.
I guess it just falls down to how they play on the.
Oh, of course, it was
game,
at MSG. It was the same thing.
Maybe the 4 days may possibly help Scotland.
Yeah.
Kind of keep the power.
But then I think that helped them at MSG because they didn't have a men's team. They didn't have a women's team there. They were just there for mixed. They had nothing to lose. They were all fresh.
Yeah, and possibly with men's and women's teams for Austria looking to win it all. Would that play a part of?
Do they then tire those players out?
Yeah. And then finally, Group D, we've got England, Northern Ireland, Netherlands, and Czech Republic.
So yet again, probably
England, Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
I think,
in that order?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna say England, Czech Republic, out of those two groups.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I think Czech Republic aren't that bad. Their mixed team isn't that bad. So I think
putting it above Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, putting it.
Northern Ireland have two solid teams.
Yeah, but they have two solid teams. But you've got to remember, there's not many countries that use their men and women in their mix.
Yeah. So like how
I don't know what countries.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Yeah.
So that how England use some of their men's and women's in their mixed.
Yeah.
Some teams take just mixed players.
Which I think is a great idea.
Which I think should be the idea.
What,
that's a good point. I generally think it should be you name a mixed squad. I generally think that should be it. You should name a mixed squad.
These are your place for your men's. These are your place for your women's.
And these
are
are
your
your
place for mixed. Yeah.
First,
it
gives chance for those.
Because that's the only way.
It gives those players that don't quite make the cut a chance to get in. Right, boys.
Who's out the door?
But I completely agree. I think it's a good point. It should be that you have a men's team, a women's team, and a mixed team, and that's it. Because, like you said, you've got teams like Austria and England who have got probably two of the strongest. They've got the strongest men's and strongest women's teams.
Yeah.
And they just chop and change and put them straight.
But Austria don't do it that much. I don't think there's many players that play in.
But
we know
England do. England do. They have.
Well, I think those two teams have probably the most depth in general.
Yeah.
So we'll probably have the best mixed team.
Yeah.
Mixed team.
Who's winning it all?
Mixed. England. Sorry.
Their mixed team is just like they just bond so well.
Yeah.
Their men and their women just play
And like
well.
we said,
so-
their strength in depth with how good
And
their men
going
are,
back to
but
playing
they
kind
won't
of in the leagues, you see a lot of the women playing in the Super League.
yeah.
A lot of women represent and fit in very comfortably.
Fit in the men's team, yeah.
fit in the men's team.
Yeah,
very
if the men are
comfortably.
short, like
You normally see the women's are stepping in and
100%.
they're just as strong, if not stronger, in places as well.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So England,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's everyone's vote.
Unanimous. Yeah.
Yep. So into the women's group, Carl.
So we have just 2 groups in the women's this year. Lots more teams entered. So we've got in Group A, Italy, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Sweden, Czech Republic, Switzerland, and Netherlands.
Such a big group. I can't even remember.
Yeah, so it's obviously four go through
Yeah,
each group
yeah.
into the.
I feel like most teams in that group will have fancy themselves
Yeah, I think
getting
so.
out.
Yeah.
I think avoiding England and Austria
Yeah.
is huge
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
for them. I think you're
Having
looking at
both
that
of
group,
those
they're,
in
they're,
either
probably,
group,
they're
yeah.
probably thinking.
But they're going to go for it in the groups, all of the
Yeah.
teams, I
Yeah.
reckon, because obviously there's 4 teams going through for one, and they're avoiding Austria and England as well. So
Well, you've got to remember
gotta go
that
for it.
you've got to go for it, but you then not got to finish 3rd and 4th because
Yeah.
you're finishing
Yeah.
3rd and
Yeah, then
4th.
you'll end
You're
up
playing
The
Austria
top,
or England
the top 2 in the next round.
in the next group.
yeah, true.
So you're either going to have to smash it,
That's what I mean.
go
You're
through.
going to have to smash
Yeah,
it. You're going to
yeah.
have to go for it. First or second is like what you
First
can.
or second is the best way
To
out
get
of
to the
that
semi.
group.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not always the case because sometimes you can see like if a team doesn't do as well or something.
And I'm going to put my money on Italy.
Italy to top that group.
Italy to top the group. I think
That's a big call.
it's a
call.
big call, but I think they're going to turn up on the big stage and they're going to perform.
Northern Ireland in that group.
Yeah.
I'm putting Northern Ireland in.
You think?
Northern Ireland women.
Yeah.
I personally think, like we spoke about Italy, and we said that the women that we know they can bring are very strong. Hopefully, they've been training hard. Because I'm thinking, I reckon Italy might surprise a few people and top the group.
Yeah.
They've still got good players to like Beth
yeah.
Redmond, who plays for Storm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm going to say something here. That Northern Ireland, yeah, they're a great team, but they always go for these big name players that don't always perform on the top stage, like you're saying. I'm not naming names, but there are some people in that team that you look at DPL, the women's DPL, and you're like, cool, she's like a good player.
So
You put her in the Scotland team, or you put her in the Northern Ireland team, and they just don't perform.
underwhelming on the big stage.
Yeah,
Maybe,
of course,
yeah.
Well, that's the pressure, and then not all people can perform.
I mean, we know, being in the leagues, there's names that go around and you think that's a solid team on paper, but it doesn't always
The amount
necessarily
of gel
work.
together as a team. Yeah.
So yeah, Michael's Italy. If we get out of that group, top of the group.
Interesting. I
Anybody
might go
else?
Scotland then.
Scotland.
Yeah.
So now we're all just boiled
I'm
by
gonna
Northern
go
Ireland.
I'm going to go Scotland.
Scotland.
Yeah,
Sam?
Scotland.
Scotland. You're
And then-
wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. It's Italy.
And then the other group, the
Group B.
yep, it's
Group
It's a
of-
horrible group.
Group of death.
yeah, group of death. Literally, Austria, England, Ireland, Wales, Belgium, and France.
I mean, if we're being honest, Belgium must look at it going, well, what have we done to deserve
Yeah.
that?
Oh,
It's first year. It's
Yeah.
the toughest
First year,
group
and they're
you
being
can
given that group.
but to be honest, they might not know any different.
get.
No.
True.
You know, you'd like to think they probably had a bit of background information on what they're turning up to, but they could be going to.
But sometimes
they're saying-
Thinking, I've just seen
Yeah.
countries on a page. I don't know.
And
what
Yeah,
they are,
sometimes
what
it's good to not know anything because then you go in with not thinking about anything. You just
And
play
that-
the way you
that-
want to
You're
play.
not scared of anyone.
Yeah.
That might also be a downfall from other teams that they might go, "Cool, Belgium are going to come into
It's
this.
their
They're
first
gonna be
Euros.
rubbish."
Let's not. Well, let's
They could be rubbish.
Yeah.
You know, play them, get absolutely clean slated. They're obviously not going to, but you know, there is always the case for an upset, especially with a group like that. You know, there's 4 teams in there that you could say, "Oh, easily they're going through. See you later."
On that though,
Hmm.
it's not necessarily a group of death. Those 4 teams, they might be looking at that going, yeah, we're in a group with Austria, England, all these teams in a group.
Mm.
But if we get out of this group,
Yeah,
then when we
that's
look
true.
at the other side of the draw, going, we might have a more favourable draw than what
They're
we
going to
had
need
if
to.
we're in
They're
Group
going to
A.
need to the side of the draw that is.
They want to be in.
Yeah.
They want to be
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Play England and Austria in their group, then forget about them.
Yeah.
until they get onto a later
Yeah,
stage.
exactly.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, whoever's
it's-
coming 3rd and 4th in there has got a good chance of doing well though.
And that's not to write off the teams in Group A, I don't think. But I just think you'd be looking at that. If we're, I think
Well, if
we're
you go
all
on
listening
past
to
performances,
Austria and England are probably going to
Top
top 2.
Yeah.
You look at it and you're thinking Wales and I are probably looking at it going,
That's
it's
gonna
not,
be a
it's not a
good-
bad result for us.
That'd be a good game in the groups. As well.
That's true.
Yeah.
That might give us an idea of what's going to happen.
Because
at the end.
you know, like we're saying, it is a 4-day tournament. A lot of players are going to rest where they can. But when it comes down to that game, they're just going to be like, we'll put everything we got on them.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess though, like you say, that going back to that game, Austria-England, is it going to be the end of the world if one team loses it?
You don't know.
No, because
Well,
the same
going-
happened at
going
the World
into-
Cup, didn't it? The same happened at
For
the World Cup.
momentum though, most definitely, I think it might
Yeah.
be not bad.
They had each other in the World Cup group, and then they both ended up in the final.
If
So-
you know
Yeah,
the
but
team
England
opposite
both
you
close, didn't they?
has already beaten
Yes.
you once in the tournament, that might be psychological and going.
Yeah.
They've already
That's what I
beaten
mean,
us
because
once.
England won both times at the World Cup.
Yeah, England beat
Yeah.
Austria in the group, and then they.
So
beat them in the
that
final.
may show.
Big
They were
stage-
almost,
big
they
stage
were,
player.
Interesting, yeah.
Austria in the final were almost non-existent of what we've seen of them in the past.
True.
Last
true.
Euros in Scotland, you know, Austria come back, they won that overtime set, then they won like the sudden death. You know, for them that was incredible. And they've gone to the World Cup and they're like, we just haven't performed here. What we know that,
Complacency?
huh? Oh, of course,
Complacency?
yeah. You're going into the World Cup saying we've just won last year's Euros, we've beaten England. You know, they might think they're not as strong as usual. Bob's
Maybe
your
something to do with their usual routine of like music playing, because they weren't allowed to take the music into the hall at MSG, were they? So they weren't allowed to get pumped up with their own music.
Could
weren't
have
allowed
that
to do stuff like
stupid
that.
rule, by the way.
It was for TV
For
purposes.
TV buzzers.
Yeah, which is.
Boring.
because-
But maybe that
It's
maybe
on
that was a
ESPN,
contributing maybe that was a contributing factor to the final.
Well, rituals are a big thing, aren't they? We all know that. Like, if you've got your music on playing before the game,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
something
of
more
course.
riled up. You do your certain things like 1, 2, 3
And, it's
ranges, like
and they
you
do,
you
they
know.
do
Yeah.
the taunting thing as well, because they play the music. You know, one person left. I don't know, if you're against 2 or 3, sometimes you back yourself on a 1v3. But if you've got music playing, say it's saying like, she's so lonely. They play that song, don't they? You know.
But that was a really good rendition of it. Though.
Thank you.
Well done, mate. Well done.
So
On the 2 teams that are going to go into the final.
Yeah.
Who are we backing? Italy, if you're saying what you said.
I'm
earlier.
going Italy and England.
To be in the final.
Yeah.
Final.
Why not?
Wow.
Final.
I'm going to go repeat of the World Cup, Austria England.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I completely agree.
Rumour has it music banned England, so that's what I'm going.
I bet that's all it takes to roll.
Yeah, all it takes, just ban the music.
Yeah.
Greg?
Yeah, first.
I'm just going to say Austria. Austria win it all. They're going to come back
So you
again.
don't care who's against them,
No.
they're just going to beat them.
That's it.
Anyone in their
Fair
way,
play, yeah, yeah.
anyone in their way, bang.
Yeah, well, that could happen. Could absolutely happen.
Yeah.
Right, so should we go for conclusion in terms of who
Conclusion.
we're doing from each?
Yep.
So for me, I
Men's.
said
So, yeah,
Northern Ireland to win for the men's.
Northern Ireland for men's.
Northern Ireland men's.
Greg, what are you going for men's?
Can't remember what I said. So we're going to edit what I said earlier.
Right there.
Can have some flames as well.
That's what I said earlier.
That's what you said earlier.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said.
I said England earlier. I know that.
And so did I.
And so did Sam.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there you go. So go to England, whatever Greg said, and
Northern
Ireland. That's what I meant.
We're trying to remember his
Northern
name.
And
This guy on the end here.
Kyle.
So mixed.
Yeah.
Mixed, Sam.
I think we all said England for that one, didn't
Yeah,
we?
but that was
Yeah,
unanimous.
that was
Yeah,
unanimous,
we're all England
yeah.
for there. And then lastly, but not least,
Women.
women,
You said
To win it all.
Italy to win it all. Wow, fair play.
Austria.
Greg. Austria,
Oh.
England.
Austria.
I've been well boring because he didn't go anywhere. Basically, I went England all 3
John's,
anyway.
John's just
so-
give you a phone call, so there's no chance. Representatives from Rangers as well, who are going to be commentating at the Euros this year. Gregory and some other kid in the blue jumper. So
That's Sam.
Sam.
Ah.
Sam. All right, Sam.
I keep
okay,
forgetting
nice
his
to
name.
know. Yeah. So we've also got 2 guys going to be there commentating as well,
Yep.
which will be very interesting to hear their insights. Maybe some bias towards the teams I've already voted for and kind of predicted here as well, possibly. Comment down below with your predictions for this year's Euro competition. Want to know who you think's going to win the men's, mixed and women competition. We are going to be posting very regularly on this channel, hoping to get a video out every week.
Every week.
Every week. So please make sure you subscribe, put the bell on for notifications, like the video, and bye.
Rangers TV.
Like, comment.